I think this was always going to be inevitable in that here are ministers who are part of the GNU, one from the ANC, one from the Democratic Alliance, and in how they conduct themselves as ministers. And particularly, I want to start with the first one that I want to start with is Dean Mcpherson, who is the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure from the Democratic Alliance. So Minister Mcpherson is being accused of meddling in the operations of a department that he oversees, Public Works. There is a government entity they call the IDT. So this particular entity of his department, apparently it owed a private company called Lone Rock Construction 19 million, and they haven't been paid of the work that they did for whatever reason. And the minister saw it fit to intervene on their behalf. Now, here is a situation that will result in suspicion of corruption if there isn't corruption in that moment, and meddling in what you're not supposed, what is not your responsibility and your duty as a minister. Okay. Obviously, everything that happens in that department, the buck stops with the minister. But there's some certain things that have been ring fenced, so to speak, so that the minister doesn't get involved, doesn't exert his political power onto the bureaucrats, those who are running the department on a day-to-day. For example, the minister get involved in tender processes. The law doesn't allow that. So Minister Mcpherson does it on behalf of Lone Rock and all that. But think about that. The Democratic Alliance have been very critical of particularly the ANC ministers in terms of how they used to run their departments, meaning that they got involved, they interfering and things like that. And they were right in criticizing the ANC for that because the minister is not supposed to do that. But now the tables have turned. Now that you are a minister yourself, you're doing exactly the same thing. I guess it's true also that the power can be intoxicating, you know, as it were. Think about it now. You were criticizing these people, holding them accountable and things like that, and you were right in doing so. And there you are, you're doing exactly the same things that these people are doing. So you're no better than them in that moment. And I read a comment the other day, somebody said, like, do not trust all of these people, whether it's the DA, ANC, whoever, politicians, they are the same. It's almost like this person, when they were saying this, they were being prophetic, because sometimes you do hope that, okay, whenever new people come into the space, other people, they will do better, so to speak. You know what I mean? So here's a Dean Mcpherson. He's not doing that. And think about it. Do you think all these other companies that have done work with this department, and I believe that it's a whole lot of companies that haven't been paid, do you think all of them, they can have the minister's ear in that he will call on their behalf, all of them, you know, individually, as he did for Lone Rock Construction? And the answer is probably no. And now you've set the cats among the pigeons, particularly for this company, because now the scrutiny is going to be on this company now. In that, people are going to wonder who owns this company. How come was the minister went out of his way to lobby on behalf of this company? How do they get these projects and all that? Even in future, perhaps whenever they qualify to get particular projects, people are always going to have this suspicion that maybe they're bribing the minister, and or maybe they're getting preferential treatment because they are close to the minister, so to speak. So you see what you have. We see what the minister has created for this company because the name is known. Unlike if maybe the email will say there is a backlog of companies that are not being paid and all of that. Can you please make sure that these things are processed and all that? But you single out one company, and this company has perhaps been doing work with the government for so many years, and now they're gonna have this attention that they do not need, you know. So even me sitting here today, I'm wondering, perhaps somebody in that company knows the minister. Perhaps that company is related to the minister. Perhaps somebody in minister family is working for that. You start to think a whole lot of things. How do they get these jobs? What makes them? What sets them apart from other companies who are bidding for the same jobs and things like that? So a minister from the Democratic Alliance, this has already happened to him, where they've been accusing the ANC of corruption, and rightfully so, I'll repeat. Here they are now being accused of meddling in what they're not supposed to be meddling in, so to speak. The other one is Khumbudzo Nthshavheni. I think you guys have seen the story as well, whereby when she was I think, a municipal manager in Palabora. So, and the tender issues there as well. 2.5 million tender that was awarded. Apparently, she was meddling in that space as well. So this has happened, I think, 2009, long time ago. But fact of the matter is that I don't think it matters when it happened, this thing. Fact of the matter is that she needs to be held accountable. Now that she's sitting in a more powerful position, what else can she do if she was only a mere municipal manager in Palabora? And now she's overseeing a department. She's a minister in the presidency. She's overseeing a department with a bigger budget, with more power, influence, and decision-making powers and things like that. What can she do? Because it's not good enough that this happened so many years ago and now she's a saint today. So if there is an issue there in the past, I think she needs to be held accountable. It needs to be brought she needs to be brought to book about it if there isn't a case there to be answered and all that. And it doesn't help that all these people are sitting on the sideline, deny. Some of them, they just quiet and all that. I saw even with the speaker of, not the spokesperson for the Democratic Alliance, he was saying that no, the reason this thing has come up is because of the minister has been rooting out corruption in the department. Both things can be right at the same time. But fact of the matter is that in this particular instance, he has went over and above for a particular company. He has broken the rules when it comes to him being a minister, the oath of office that he has taken. Even if Minister Ntshavheni, this thing didn't happen while she was a minister, but the fact of the matter is that she was still working for the government. If you think about it, as a municipal manager, he was still accountable. So I think these two people, they need to be held accountable as quickly as possible. And the president needs to act. I don't believe he will. He'll take time, wait for an investigation. And I don't trust any of these people who say, okay, I'm going to go on voluntary suspension in the meantime while this has been investigated. They just continue with their jobs and things like that. So I want to know what you guys think about this. What should the president do? But I think it's very important to us as the public. We need to hold these people to the highest of standards as much as you possibly can. So you can see, it doesn't matter who is in power at any given time. Even the people who were self-righteous at some point in time. Now that they're in power, things have changed. Power can be intoxicating. Think about the blue lights, how they were always criticizing people of the blue light. The other day it was the Minister Steenhuisen, Minister of Agriculture, him and his blue lights thingy. So we need to be vigilant. We need to be vigilant. We should not have a wool pull over our eyes because people are speaking when they're outside of power. Once they're in power, things have changed. So I want to know what you guys think about this. What should the president do? What is it that we need to do to hold these people accountable? And if you disagree, let me know why. If you agree as well, I want to know on your comments what do you think about this. I hope to see you guys on the next video. If you have subscribed, thank you again for your love and support. If you haven't subscribed, please be so kind and do so. Like our videos, share them with as many people as possible. Hope to see you on the next video again. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.